Anyway, let's continue this. ABB Nightblade, we're level 36. I just got a Alchemos weapon from SLT, which is totally optional, you don't have to like do this at all. But I did want to get like an upgrade before getting the gun from Ugnenborg, right? That's kind of like the only actually great weapon you can like aim for when you want to do like a 200 ABB run on Nightblade. I think Amalgamation was the last thing we did here, right? So we gotta go and do the rest of the Blood Grove, which means you wanna check out your Chaos Rest, right? Your Chaos Rest should be, I would say, at least like 50 to 60% before you go to the Blood Grove. Got 65%, which sounds about okay. Could also go for the cannons and stuff like that, but we're gonna skip that until later, I think. So right now, the gameplay should be Shadow Strike to pack, use one ABB, one-shot the entire pack. But I feel like half of the trash must already like die to the auras from my items and my Knight's Chair right now, which is interesting. On Vinegar Dawn, the best drain essence is Vitality. I think the most damage might be Aether or Cold, actually. Okay, yeah. Damage is really not bad right now. Not at all. Cold is the most damage? I think so too, yeah. But Aether actually is really, like... Drain Essence got like buffed at some point, and I think Aether is pretty good too. There's also Acid, and, well, Vitality. Vitality usually is balanced around like being slightly less damage, but having better sustain at least. She's dodging a lot, holy moly. It's a ghost after all. Which class is your best, is the best of Virus Might Skater in your opinion? There's two you can do. You can do Shield Breaker or Templar, right? I think Shield Breaker is better, like as a starter, or like better for early to mid game. But for endgame, Templar is probably like a bit better and smoother to play. Because I think Templar is kind of, yeah. It's okay for leveling, right? Like once you got your Virus Might stuff going and so on, but I think Shield Breaker is just better for leveling, for sure. Oh yeah, this guy right here in Bolvar is the guy for whom you want to have all that Chaos Rush. Because he can roll with like insane pistols with like high chaos damage, and then you might die. Which luckily didn't happen here. I mean, I wouldn't die, I think, with this Chaos Rush no matter what pistols he rolled, but I would have taken like more damage if you rolled like higher chaos damage pistols than he did. That's for sure. Alright, what do we have? Glacial of the... I mean, he had like double % chaos damage, like suffixes, but prefixes were kind of bad for him. The new Ruinous Crag weapon seemed only viable with Oppressor, to be honest. I think the Leap stuff could also be fine. Like, Leap's a pretty good skill, I think. Like physical leap, Probably Waywalker as well. Or maybe Zealot. What do you think about PoE 2 endgame canastic day for you? Yeah, same. I think the campaign is awesome. Balance is terrible. And also I have no idea why they suddenly stopped balancing their game when it's literally in early access. Like, I don't know why they would do that. I know like some people got upset that like certain builds got like nerfed, and I can also understand them. But what they needed to do is just give everybody, right, if your build gets nerfed, or like if any skill that your character was using like gets nerfed, like just give a free like refund, right? Or like create a currency that allows like an entire skill reset, like skill tree reset, passive skill tree reset, right? And then every patch you just give every player one of them for free, right? And that's all they needed to do, and then they could have just actually continued to balance their game, and now they're like not doing it for whatever reason. I don't know why. Like, it's weird. I don't get it. I mean, they're like saving all the balance changes for like the one big 0.2 patch, I guess. But you could like react better, I think, to... I don't know. Like, you could balance your game better if you did it like more in real time than they're doing right now. People will stop playing if stuff gets nerfed in the middle of the league. There's no league though, like, I don't know. Like, it's early access, man. Who cares about early access league? I mean, I guess many people do, I don't know. I stopped playing because there were no changes, right? Like, if there were changes, I would actually be playing PoE 2 maybe a bit right now again. But it's just stale, so... Like, endgame is stale, and builds are stale, and some things just feel like dog shit, others don't, and then you just play the stuff that doesn't feel like dog shit. But once you've played like everything that doesn't feel like dog shit and that's like fun to you, then you stop playing. I don't know. Like, I mean, obviously, right, you do what you're saying once the game is out and once like there's actual leagues, right? Then obviously you don't nerf stuff mid-league. But... come on, it's early access. Just balance your game. Just fix your game first. Zarya, the Carver. Alright, I mean, she can be scary, right, if she, like, puts down curse and crystal on you, but if you just kill her before she does either of that, then she's not scary. Yeah, I read the, like, 4chan stuff. I don't know if that's, like, true or not, but... if true, sounds troubling. Yo, Daniel, welcome. Mage Hunter penalty or Spellbinder penalty? Kinda depends what you want to do later on, right? For all elemental types, obviously Mage Hunter is better. Spellbinder is only better for Aether, but Mage Hunter can also do Aether, right? Mage Hunter is more flexible in general. Which year can we count on Grim down to? 2035? That seems reasonable actually, yeah. I don't know, like at some point next decade. Maybe a bit earlier than 2035, but yeah, at some point like next decade, that's for sure. What if, right, what if many of the ideas that like create or exploring with Pangs of Astakarn are kind of like a beta for like Grim Dawn 2, right? Similar how like some ideas in PoE 1 were like basically betas for PoE 2.
Lord.
Who knows, right? Thanks for the resub, Berserker. Berserker. The Brewster. Thank you so much for the support, man. Appreciate it. Welcome back to the Bloomers. The Brewster. An ARPG for all senior citizens. Grim Dawn 2, yeah. Kinda, right. I'm happy if my grandkids can enjoy Grim Dawn 2. It's gonna be awesome. And they better like the fucking game, right? Otherwise I'm gonna disown all of them. Will Fangs of Astakarn give you charges for Shadow Strike? Of course. Yes, of course. And yes, of course, Nightblade is gonna be more broken. Of course, of course. Fanatics Overcoat. That's not a bad item, that's fine. These Bloodsworn investments can also be okay if you want like caster armor, I guess. Imperials of the Flesh Hulk. It's pretty tanky. Pierce, Poison, Elemental, and Stun Res. This one gives me Chaos Res and total speed. Which is honestly also very nice. I mean, resistance-wise, this one is way better though, right? I gotta say. Glacial of Alacrity, this is cold damage, it's kinda nice. More armor. Aether instead of Pierce Res, which is nice. Let's do that. Okay, cool. Alright, keep this. Keep that. Can show my skill tree. You can check out my skill tree in the description below the video as well. At all times usually. But yeah, this is all I have right now. I'm contemplating starting a vanilla Grim Dawn thing to have something to play between seasons. Is there anything to watch out for regarding save files? If you only play the online season, then not really. If you played offline, if you were playing offline season 2, then you would have to change your save folder, yeah. Like rename your save folders. If you never played offline, then there's no issue. So I'm currently playing this, right? But I'm probably gonna switch over to acid damage later. Once I get the gun. But until then, I guess we can enjoy some more cold damage stuff. And you could even like go cold damage all the way, I guess, because like Nightblade and cold damage just go so well together. And if you get a decent Alchemist item, which is definitely not guaranteed, and I mean Steps of Torment is not the easiest place to farm items for at this level, but if you get a good one, or like a usable one like I did, you could go cold damage all the way. But cold would definitely be melee until endgame, right? In endgame, there's like dual wield pistols you could do as well. Acid has like an easier time, right? You can use either the 200 club from the East Marsh, or you can just use the gun from Udenborg. Whee. I hope Alchemist explodes. Alchemist already exploded last time we played this character. He already died. Already ditch. Oh yeah, also getting points in Elemental Awakening is actually pretty good, right? Because, well, the weakness of this skill right now is that you have to wait for your cooldown, right? So your damage between cooldowns is kind of not the best. Elemental Awakening gives you a lot of like like frost burn damage, which is being applied via ABB as well, which you could use to like bridge the gap, I guess, in a way. Any tips to transition from normal straight to ultimate and hardcore? Make sure you are overcapping your top row by like 50% and your bottom row by 25%, right? You're losing 50% resistances to the top row and 25% to the bottom row, except for physical, when you go from normal to ultimate. And yeah, I mean, you want to make sure you still have 80% resistances once you go to ultimate. Maybe not necessarily for Act 1, but for all the acts after that, for sure, for sure. I think that's like the main issue, really. You can also remember that you can get resistances via augments, right? Like augments are another layer that you can put on top of your components on all of your gear slots. But you need to get faction reputation to buy augments. And for like ring and weapon augments, you can already use some once you're honored with some factions. But all the armor augments require you to be revered, like the very last status. Which is kind of hard to achieve in normal, really, and I personally also don't like farming the reputation in normal. Like, I would kind of never do that. But if you're like really struggling, that's a thing that you could do for maybe like 1 or 2 factions. If you feel like there's no other way to like fix your res. But I would usually rather start to, well, only gear for like res at around like level 6 to 70, or like 50 to 70. And then once I am in ultimate, and then once I do get revered with some factions, then I can use augments to get resistances and instead like focus a little bit more on damage on the gear instead of resistances. Torchlight music, yeah. Any gear recommendation for Vitality Fighters? I mean, for leveling, you could either do like Ravenous Earth leveling, or like Vitality Grenado, Blackwater Cocktail offhand, I think exists as well, from like Forgotten Gods, from the raids. And then there's also like the Bone Scythes, I think, that allow you to spam Bone Harvest. And you could dual wield those as well, with like some other items. It's a shame that Grim Dawn works in 1 core. I mean, it's not really only 1 core, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's very 1 core heavy. There's one small trick you can do though. Alright, if you go to your task manager... did I There we go. Right, if you go to your task manager and you go to details, right, you can right click on Grim Dawn here, and then you can set, like there's priority here, but then like the one below that, right? And here you can basically assign which cores should be used by Grim Dawn, and you can like remove the first like 1 or 2 affinity, a core affinity, right? You can like remove the first 2, or like at least the first one, the first one for sure. And then Grim Dawn will like primarily use like the third core in this case, right? CPU 2, the third core, which at least, because like usually like all apps will most of the time prioritize the first core, right? And then if you like use like make Grim Dawn not prioritize the first core but like a third or fourth core, that can like help a little bit sometimes at least, right? Like it can help a little bit. It's always not the solution to everything, and some areas are like still gonna be like slightly laggy due to like some, well, engine limitations, I guess. But, yeah. But for me, like if I do that, I can at least maintain 60 FPS, I would say, while streaming in like no matter what area usually. You can also use the core swapper from the forums. Here there's like an app that basically like does what I just showed you automatically for you. That should be, I guess, convenient too if you want to use that instead. Like, that's pretty much the only trick I know though when it comes to like trying to play around the CPU core problem. I mean, or just buy a CPU that has like a strong single core, right? Just buy a CPU because of Grim Dawn, right? Okay, we can like put some more. Oh, I also like was gonna put some more points down here for like armor and pierce stress. Actually, I don't need more pierce stress right now though. We killed Bolvar, right? We got the 3 Seeds of Binding. We didn't do this other side quest for Terran yet. Let's do that and then... you're already ultimate at 6. Oh, okay, for item set and so on. What's it called? The one like fire vitality set. Fuck. Blazier? No, not Blaze. Blazier is a blue set, but that's also kind of good for like, well, for Fire Defiler if you want to play a Fire Defiler. Blight Lord, right? Blight Lord is arguably one of the best Defiler sets. For Caster Defiler at least. Yeah. Blight Lord. That's one of the best for Defilers, I would say. Fire Defiler, 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 Fire Defiler. Fuck. Fire Defiler. Oh my god, dude. I mean, say Vitality Defiler 10 times, right? That's no better, right? And the Blaze Heart, like one-handed sword that you get guaranteed from Dyla in Morndale is pretty good, like a good starting point, I would say. Right? If you're playing Fire Defiler. Do I want to use these? These shoulders are like always pretty decent. No, I don't think they're good enough. Make a set for Gargaball? Why? It's already good enough, I think. Like, not everything needs a set, right? But yeah, you can also play Gargaball pistols, right? You can farm Ancient Grove to get Gargaball pistols. Not good enough. Did I say my upgrade sword? Oh my fucking god. Jesus. It's already reset now, right? Oh my god. Fuck. Chat got me. Cup. Nah, it's obviously my fault. I guess I have to like run one SOT more, right? Just pretend, right? I never got a good weapon, so I have to run it again because I didn't get a good weapon, right? Fire divided my brain. Holy moly. I even had like the exact proper level now to use it, right? Oh my god, dude. Okay. You know what? Let's just run SOT right now then, I guess. What am I doing, man? What quest is this, by the way? What the hell? Oh, right. You can also give the resources from Fort Icon to Homestead, right? I think the last time I did that was like in 2017. No joke. Gargaball Fighter is fine, right? I mean, it used to be fine. Maybe they like over-nerfed it a bit. But I mean, they just have to like buff it again instead of like... They don't need to make like a full set for that. Certainly not everything needs a full set in this game. I think that's not true, right? I mean, that's kind of boring. There's already like too many builds with sets, I think. You think acid damage characters smell like piss? They're fine. I mean, acid damage is like a bit more in the dot side of things usually, right? But there's some pretty good ones. Diablo 4 music. Is Diablo 4 music good? This is music from Torchlight, actually. You wanna do Oppressor Runus Crag? Nice, nice. Yeah, I think it should be good. Gotta kill the priests, otherwise they heal him again, right? Okay. Oh my god, dude. Don't sell your upgrade weapon. Don't do that, guys. Have they told you when Fangs of Astakarn's dropping? It's dropping tomorrow. Tomorrow, hooray. Always tomorrow, hooray. No, I have no idea. Can we jump here? Yeah, we can. Yes. Can we jump here. Should I go kill Igor once again? I mean, I could. But I already have a medal, that's kind of fine. Just want to kill Alchemist real quick, see what kind of weapon he drops. Oh, fuck. No, it's a trap. Oh no. Oh fuck, they actually do damage. Reddit keeps saying that like Skeleton Knights are a new OP monster. Are they really like stronger than before? Like what happened? I did not notice them being any stronger. But Reddit like for some reason thinks Skeleton Knights are insane now. I mean Reddit's cooked very often, but like I have no idea what they're smoking. Ah, he got a scythe this time. Which might be arguably even better than the sword, right? Let's see if we got a good one here. I should move out of the blue cancer. Touch the thunder. So the pool doesn't even spawn, ideally. Thunderstruck is not good, that's like lightning damage, but a frostbite is still cold damage, so... 41 this time, I mean... I guess we're gonna have to wait another 2 levels, but it's fine. Certainly still an upgrade, and this one has like acid to cold conversion, right? That part is nice. The lightning damage part is not that good, but the rest is fine. Sell it? Yeah, sell it again, right? Just sell it again. Any tips for navigating the story main quest? Just explore the map. Just explore. Grim Dawn is like Skyrim, just explore the map. Like you don't have arrows showing you where to go, right? If you're new to the game and you didn't explore literally every single corner of the map, you're playing the game wrong. On your first playthrough, at least. Later, if you like know where to go, it's fine to like just go where you need to go and leave out all the rest, but if you haven't played the game, please do not leave any corner unchecked. Kinda. That's just how the game works. Like compared to other RPGs, I would say Grim Dawn is a lot more like story-driven, exploration-driven. I mean, you will never get disappointed full clearing a map usually, because there's always going to be like some secret chest or some secret quest or some other stuff, right? And well, you're definitely getting rewarded by knowing where stuff is, because Grim Dawn does not have randomly generated maps, right? It's always a fixed layout. There are sometimes some slight variations where like some blockers are, so like sometimes you have to like take a slightly different way. Some NPCs or like some monsters have like different spawn locations, like multiple spawn locations rather, of course, as well. But the layout itself is always the same. Like the base layout is always the same. So yeah, it's kind of like worth trying to learn the maps, because like you get to knowing the entire map quicker than say in PoE, for example. And in PoE it's also like worth to like learn layouts and stuff like that, but I feel like in PoE it's a lot harder to like get to the point where it feels worth, so like many people don't even bother. In Grim Dawn it's definitely like worth it earlier, right? Yeah, and if you look at the to the quests on the right, all quests with a star, these are main quests, right? These are like main story quests. The ones without a star, these are all side quests and technically all optional. You don't have to do any of them. I would very much encourage you to try all of them, and then to determine yourself which of them are like worth it to do and which ones aren't. Ultimately, I think most of them are worth to do for like reputation gain with factions. But there are some that I think are definitely like skippable. But I mean, even if skippable, you should at least like experience them once. But, I mean, you paid for the game, right? Well, like, why would you deprave yourself from content? And Sevari has like 3 locations only, like 3 spawns. It's not like that hard, I think, to learn all of them. I should like maybe be careful with the mines here, but triggering all the mines like an idiot. If only PoE had alternative ways of leveling. I think Grim Dawn does a better job at like speeding up the leveling process too compared to... I mean, maybe not. I mean, PoE has like some pretty juicy items you can use too for alternative leveling, right, I guess? I don't know. In Grim Dawn you can speed up the leveling process from like level 1 to 94 from the, I don't know, like whatever hours you need on your first character, say around like 25 to 30 hours. Probably more if you're like actually new to the game, right? But you can speed it up to like, well, down to up to 5 hours, I would say, right? Maybe like 6 to 7 is like what the average player would usually achieve with like leveling gear. But you can do it in like sub 5 hours even if you're like really fast. Senior Snake, welcome in, appreciate it. Welcome back, 4 months. Thanks for the prime. 2 hours in Crucible boosted, well, yeah, you can also do that, I guess, but that's like requiring multiplayer and it's not really like hardcore friendly, and yeah, also then you will have no reputation whatsoever with all factions, right? I don't know, I don't really like Crucible leveling that much. But it is another way of leveling if you really want to, yeah, I guess. I don't think it's like more efficient than just doing the campaign though. Ultimately, because of, well, reputation mainly. And I wish like reputation was account wide. Yeah, they would have to like probably change some things about reputation then, if they do it like that. We're gonna go back here and go back to my import that I left in front of the script here because there's a shrine in here. But yeah, if they changed like around some things, then I could definitely see like reputation gain being global. That's technically something we could try to implement in the leagues actually, eventually. But we need to have a bit more like a bit more like a stabler, well, more stable system for like shared progress. Like if we didn't have a single like person reset their alteration trees last league, then I would say sure, let's just do it right away, but unfortunately we still had like some cases where like trees got reset, right? So unless we fix that, I don't think rep should be global quite yet, or like account wide quite yet.
Good, you're back. Is cool.
Thanks for the resub, Dusknumf. Appreciate it, 29 months already. Welcome back to the Bloomers. Welcome, Monk, welcome. Account wide rep takes away too much from it. Also, yeah, true, there's like some situations like Barrow Home, right, where account wide rep wouldn't quite work. Right, it like just doesn't really work. Unless you make like people join like a, I don't know, like Horde versus Alliance kind of thing at the start of every league, right? Prismatic Eviscerator is a good item too, right? Yeah. Like, even if you don't have like Alchemos items and you didn't run like SLT, if you get a Prismatic Eviscerator, that's already an upgrade, isn't it? Yeah, it is. What else do we have here? Good shoulders? Another mantle. Wait, what's this one? Okay, let's go back. We gotta change the weapon. I mean, do I really wanna like change it for like like half of a level? I mean, let's do it, right? Let's do it. Hog. More damage for like half a level. And maybe I'll sell my weapon again, right? Who knows? It even pretends to be better than this. I don't quite believe it yet, though. Because I think it's not counting the conversion on the acid damage. But it just like shows how good Prismatic Eviscerator is, right? It's really, really good, actually. Tyrant's Grip can be decent, but not quite good enough in this case, I think. I mean, I want to upgrade my boots at some point. We're gonna lose the proc and like lose some cold damage, but you're gonna get higher armor eventually. There's no way around that. I can't use a different helmet there. Okay, let's change these boots as well. These will give me like higher, like slightly higher physical resistance, which is nice too. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, more devotion points. But I guess since we're playing cold, we just like finish the summer talk for now. And we go back to Fort Icon. And then the quests. And I think at that point I should be able to buy a belt from Fort Icon, like a blueprint for a belt. From the Black Legion, actually. Let's see here. No, still not. I need like the Legion belt, right? This one right here. Gives me like +1 to all skills to Nightblade. Well, apparently we are not worthy yet. Maybe if I kill the witch in the cellar. Let's see how much rep one gives you. Benimorca, McMac, Miguel, welcome guys. How you doing? Also, Junkoke, welcome. How are you leveling so fast by skipping monster mobs? It takes centuries for you, and I keep clearing everything to get XP. Well, you don't have to full clear everything, really. I mean, you should full clear stuff, right, to get to know the game. But, like, quests give you, I would say, generally more XP than monster kills. Like, you just wanna, like, kill packs, right? Like, group up enemies, kill packs, or like, kill specific monsters, like bosses, and otherwise like only focus on quest objectives. That would be like the most efficient way to level, I would say. Okay, what's the rep now? The Black Legion. Not quite there yet. Oh well. Well, I guess now we could play this, right? It's gotta be more damage with like the ABB lethal assault buff up for sure. Like prismatic, right? As I said, if you get it and you don't have an Alchemist weapon from an Alchemist run, then feel free to use prismatic eviscerator. It's totally fine too. Vitality and Chaos Rust would be kind of nice right now, not gonna lie. Current. Let's craft a second. Scale tide here real quick. Okay, we got to the end of Nightblade. Got a point in Nightfall. I could also like grab Blade Spirits, which are great for like proccing stuff. Just got the rep too, did we? Oh yeah. Right, okay, we make the belt as well, right? Might as well. Your brain starts to hurt if you don't clear every corner at all RPG games. It's not a waste of time in Grim Dawn the first time you play through the game. It's really not. It is later though. Let's just buy all of these. We're gonna need them eventually anyway. Okay, let's go craft one, and I'm gonna craft it in Homestead because so every smith in this game gives you like a different completion bonus for everything that's not like components and potions and stuff like that. Like every like armor piece can have a smith completion bonus. You can see that one by hovering over here. Right, in this case you get, what is this? Aether resistance, chaos resistance, or health, right? I mean, both of those resistances would be nice. Okay, so we have to craft a Legion belt, which needs a blessed whetstone. Which, well, where the fuck do you get a blessed whetstone? From Kaiman's Chosen, for example. Alright. I have done some quests with them already, so hopefully they like me enough. Oh, they didn't put up a camp here yet, though. I should, like, probably just check my rep then. Jesus, I can't find a button for rep. There we go. Not respected yet. Okay, there's one quest that I haven't done with them yet, right? Slay the neck monsters guarding the ashes in Tomb of the Archon. So I guess before we kill Logorian, we get sidetracked by the side quest and do that one first. Nobody respects me. I mean, they do... Yeah, not respect me, that's true. Is there a good Stonebox build that I've made or covered? I've made a Alagast Mage Hunter at some point. Alagast Mage Hunter is a like Lightning Aether hybrid Stormbox and Frozen Skyshard build, which works surprisingly well, even though hybrid is usually not the best in Grim Dawn. But Aether Lightning is a damage type combination that does work together decently well, I would say. There's quite some devotion overlap between the two, at least, so... Have I ever tried full lightning Aberrant's 8th array? I have. Also on a Mage Hunter actually. There should even be like a build guide video about that. That's like somewhere in my YouTube. It's been a while though that I've played that one. I'm not sure how good it is on the current patch. If I had to guess, probably like in a decent playable state, but not insanely good. What does ABB mean? ABB means Amarasta's Blade Burst. Let's get over here. Squares Knights at a Druid, yeah. I really like Mage Hunter for channeling actually, because of this, like, Inquisitor's Seal usually kind of like is annoying to play around, right? Because you have to stand still, but if you're channeling, you have to stand still anyway, right? So I think Seal is really, really nice for channelers. But yeah, oh yeah, Druid also is better now, because it used to be annoying to resummon your Wind Devils while channeling, but that's no longer, like, the case, right? They just have infinite duration anyway now. How does physical resistance work compared to armor? So physical resistance, like, mitigates a percentage of the hit, right? Whereas armor mitigates a flat amount, like up to the armor value. Say you get hit by like 5,000 physical damage and you have 2,000 armor, then you take 3,000 damage, right? But if you get hit by 10,000 physical damage, then you take 8,000 damage. Whereas if you had 20% physical resistance, you would... Oh my god. Oops. I certainly don't have enough Aether resistance, that's for sure. Then you would take what? With 20% physical resistance, you would take 4,000 damage against 5,000 damage hit, and against 10,000 hit, you would take also 8,000 hit, right? Yeah. The Lightning Mage Hunter was 5 years ago. Holy shit, yeah. Time flies. Totems? Yeah, those you actually have to like place down though. I think I like the Wind Devils more than the totems on a Druid, to be fair, on like a Lightning Grade Druid. After or before armor? It's actually after armor. Right? Or is it before? Wait, is it before? Fuck, I forgot. Hang on. Blocks before physical resistance, right? Like blocks before all resistances, actually. And flat absorption is definitely after resistances. At armor it is like after block, but before resistances. I would have to like rewatch my own video, man. But I think that's how it was. Physical res only works in internal trauma. That's not true. But well, armor doesn't work on internal trauma, so if you want to mitigate internal trauma, armor is useless, right? You want physical resistance or absorption or percent absorption to mitigate internal trauma. Alright, respected. Very nice. I can pick up this quest as well. We're probably not gonna do it, but... And we can read some more lore, get some more experience via lore. Yeah. Do we expect this quarter of the year for Fangs of Astakarn? I don't. Not first quarter, definitely not, I think. Maybe second. I can see second quarter, but definitely not first. I think that's 100% no now.
Put it to good use.
Have I ever made a video covering basics like conversion rules? Yeah, I have. And like in that, like there's a video on conversion which explains conversion properly, like better than I would explain it right now in this very moment, I think. And I also have one about like, I think stats and defenses, which should also explain the physical resistance armor thing better than I do right now. March 18th release, yeah. On March 17th, they're gonna announce the expansion hits one day after the announcement. Yep, that's definitely how it's gonna work. Didn't cover sub-skills on the conversion video? Maybe not. I mean, that kind of like depends on the skill. Like some sub-skills are added to the main skill and some sub-skills are like sub-skills of their own which get converted by nothing except for global conversion. Unless they are like a part of a pet skill like window, then they still get converted by like local convergence as well. The Eastern Wagon. We're gonna go around here. When I usually take off local set when leveling alts at level 94. I level from 9 to 1 to, from level 1 to 94 with Lokar. I'm too lazy to switch out at any point in between. It's, to be fair, arguably harder to level with Lokar all the way to 94 compared to not using Lokar, but it's faster. And whether or not it's like hardcore safe depends on your like personal experience with the game, I would say. Fire Strike has sub-skills on Drixivoli. Yeah. Brimstone, Explosive Strike, right? Actually, for Drixivoli, they removed the second one, whatever it's called again, from being a sub-skill. Like, it used to be even worse with conversion. Around Wrath Tenebrous. I have a Sentinel about, like, around that weapon, yeah. Like a Chaos Hour Reckoning Sentinel. Should be on YouTube too. I have made a build with that. Is there a new DLC incoming? Yes, at some point this year. But not in the first quarter. Is it Doombolt build? Yeah, like Hour Reckoning Doombolt. Depending on like how you build it, you can focus more on Hour Reckoning or like focus more on the Doombolt part, but Doombolt is, it depends like what you want it to be, right?
Ah, I've been expecting.
Doombolt is definitely like the better single target skill. Thanks for Prime. Dialu, welcome on. Appreciate the support. Welcome to the Bloomers. What the hell is this? Some World of Warcraft music. Doc leave. Alright, let's get some more points here. The Pneumatic Burst line. I mean, around level 40 or like 35 to 40, I would say is like usually the point where you should pick up your second class at the latest. So right about now. But just like with the other recent playthroughs, or like not playthroughs, but like normal leveling tests, we're gonna stay single class for now. Obviously, if you want to play like a cold Nightblade, the best like secondary classes would be Inquisitor, very high up, Demolitionist, Necromancer, Arcanist, Shaman. Kind of like depends what you want to do. For ABB in particular, I would say the best would, like for cold ABB, the best would be Inquisitor Arcanist. But it's like ABB specific kinda, right? For Acid ABB, it would be Dervish or Witch Hunter. I think the weapon is mostly made for Witch Hunter though, so Occultist secondary. Yeah, I mean generally for like Acid, Nightblades, Occultist or like Old Keeper would be really good. You can also play Soldier with this class, right? And that's really good for pierce damage especially, but you can also like play Acid and Cold Blade Masters. They're like kind of tanky, but to actually deal good damage compared to the other classes you need like very specific gear, I think. And even then it's just like a tankier, less damage version most of the time. Yeah, flat. Like shields are kind of bad in Grim Dawn unless you like have very good shield synergy. Like block is, like for example compared to PoE, like block is very bad in Grim Dawn. Like it's okay, like as a defensive layer, like you can use it and it's certainly usable, but compared to PoE or like PoE 2 as well, it's like way worse. Been following the Prom Strength Druid guide. Smooth sailing up to endgame. Been farming SR 26, 28 or 30. What kind of clear time should I be shooting for to optimize your loot efficiently? I think what people like shoot for, like for actually min-maxed endgame builds, right? Which is probably like not where you are at yet. Would be like 5 minutes to like for a like SR 30 to 31, right? Like those two shards. 30 to 31 in like 4 to 5 minutes. But that's like if you want to shoot for the stars, right? Like those are the stars, right? You mean like 32 to 33, right? For 4 minutes maybe. I mean that's like another even harder challenge on top. Like no way you're doing 4 minutes 3 shards, right? Like 2 shards. Like there's no reason to do 3 shards for level for fucking farming anyway, right? Like 2 is always the most efficient. Let's dodge the balls. If you have like bad acid res, obviously you're gonna take more damage here, so do be careful with like acid damage dealing acid damage to you, and well the red balls dealing like chaos vitality damage to you probably. But yeah, around this point you should have your res fixed, and if you're getting sundered like this and you don't know what's going on, just disengage, right, and like try to not get hit. Rather play it safe than sorry. Yeah, if you're honestly like on hardcore, on many builds I didn't bother like 4 to 5 minutes is also like you're actually like sweating, like trying to get a good run and stuff like that. And SR is also like all about RNG sometimes. Like you can have a really good build, but sometimes you just get fucked by RNG and you have like a bad run and you still like take 6 minutes, for example. Like 4 minutes is like absolute like god seed and like god tier build and like god tier like playstyle. So having like 7 to 8 minutes runs is at the point where you're at right now totally fine, I would say. Like you're never getting like 4 minute consistent runs, right? Like maybe like 5 minutes average is like consistent, usually. What items you should store and stash? I mean, store whatever you think looks cool. Basically, you don't have to like store all too many blue items. There's like only a couple I think for leveling that are good, like worth really storing. That are like generally good. Some stuff like Herald's set or like Herald's jacket can be fine. For example, Fnatic's overcoat could be fine, I guess. But some of these you're also gonna get like so often. What I think is maybe like worth saving, something like Royal Exuberance set. It's like a ring set, like a blue ring set, or like Praetorian set, or stuff like that, or like some legendaries. I mean, obviously, like, all legendaries can technically be, like, worth saving. More so the endgame ones and, like, the leveling ones. So, yeah. Always try to make an Aster Blade Master work with dual wielding the legendary Mad Queen Samai. I don't think I ever worked. Really, I think that should be a decent build now. Maybe it wasn't in the past, but it should be at least decent now. Shouldn't be that bad at this point. I kind of want the Poison Rust, right? Like now that we're going into the Ugden Bog. Mantle of the Weeping Eye would be nice though, like 2 points into Elemental Awakening as well. Kinda wanna use it. I don't wanna use that one though. What happens with Herald's Jacket? Herald's Jacket is not bad, but this one is just better resistances, right? Ancient of the Aether and Ancient Evil. Resistant of Oleron's Ra. That's a lot of resistances. I do need more Aether as holy moly. I do need to definitely work on that. Ancient of Decay. I mean, that's pretty tanky, isn't it? I don't need the movement speed, right? I'm a flippin' Nightblade. I can just like pump more points into my total speed skill instead. Don't need a Pierce Rust. The physical rest, I mean, it's nice, but armor is arguably more important at this point anyway. Yeah, at least it is what fixed like Chaos Rust. And gives me more HP too, doesn't it? Yeah, a little bit at least. Just a tiny bit. And this is like a legendary item, but honestly, it's not even good. You should usually try to like blow up legendaries with like dynamite. I'm not gonna bother in this case though, but usually that's what you should do. Like sell blues and like blow up legendaries so you have like a decent distribution of iron bits to like rare mats, right? Because like blowing up legendaries has a pretty decent chance to give you like additional purple crafting materials. It's kind of nice to have. Got Gauntlets of Ignifar. Could have been a better legendary too. Oh well. This quest like always guarantees a legendary, but I guess we got unlucky. Alright, let's change the components. Sacred to music, correct. At this level, it's better to prioritize status or armor. What do you mean by status exactly? You mean like percent damage? Definitely not. Resistances, yes. I would say resistances are still like slightly more important than armor. If you mean like attributes, then I would say also armor is more important than attributes at this point. When will Season 8 release? After Fangs of Astakon, yeah. So later this year at some point. We don't have a date yet. If I enjoy large numbers, what's the hardest hitting single target skill in the game? Shadow Strike, Doombolt, Grenado. Those are like good candidates, I would say. Shadow Strike, Doombolt, Grenado, what else? Fucking auto mod, yeah, I don't know. Do I have to disable that now? It's getting out of hand. I have a Discord server, yeah. If you check out like the description below the channel right now, right? Or like below the stream on YouTube. There should be a link to the Discord. Also, oh my god, I forgot. I keep forgetting so many things right here on this run. What the hell, man? Okay, actually, let me get the Rift Gate first. Like, let me get this Rift Gate list first. Modders already have info about how modding will be after Fangs of Asgard. I mean, we know it's gonna be better. With more options. How exactly? Not yet. We don't know how the thing works exactly yet, I would say. Like the new like make your own endgame system. I mean, we know it's gonna be very modular, but how modular exactly, we don't know yet. Alright, they did put up a shop at this time though, right? At least, yeah. Once they did this like quest with the ashes, they are setting up a shop over here. And we're gonna buy all the blueprints again. Which now allows me to craft a blessed whetstone, which then allows me to craft the belt finally that I wanted to craft earlier today. Let's make like 2 maybe. So when you craft a green item, you get one of the smithing bonuses and you get 1 random affix on top. Of the wild is kind of wild. Well, that one gives you head stats and elemental resistances. Which are something, but maybe we're getting something better. Of Blight has pierce resistances and like... And acid damage? No, vitality damage actually, not acid damage. Do I make 1 more? I could like make 1 more. Just about 1 more. Well. Aggressive. Wait, did it like roll HP on both of these? I didn't get the resistances at all. No, I didn't, right. This one rolled 8 res on the smith bonus. And aggressive as offensive ability. They're like all kind of bad, right? Wait, why does Of Blight have a poison bolt that deals poison damage? Oh, wait, the affix does give you poison damage but no acid damage? What? It gives you vitality damage? What? What the? I'm so confused. I mean... I feel like this is the best. With Bleed Res and Chaos Res. But we're getting like +1 to all skills and Nightblade, which should be worth it, right? Has to be good. Also, you could always check if you got like a Nightblade, +1 Nightblade relic yet, but we didn't, right? There's also Death Chill relic, which is also pretty good actually. If you get this one, you could also consider crafting this one. But maybe it's like a bit too early and like a bit too expensive at this point to craft relics anyway. We're gonna look into that a bit later. But if you're playing like a cold build, then like Death Chill is a pretty nice upgrade for sure. Did you find the Discord? Yes. Largest number from dot stacking. Oh shit, we have like too many skill points here now. But there's no... I mean, okay, there's technically a spirit guide over here, but there's also like a spirit guide in the next town after Gloomvault anyway, so let's just go there. Death chills. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, yeah, I mean, our damage is giving us the chills right now, right? That's for sure. Got some pretty good Nightblade damage. You wanna not miss the shrine in the Gloomvault area. It's like over here in this like northeastern corner. mean, we're getting some like new models for like enemies and so on, but otherwise I don't think there's gonna be like too many. Okay. I was gonna like not even mention this item until like a bit later, but apparently we already got it. We got a of Thunder suffix though, which is pretty bad. This is like the best monster frequent for Amarasta's Blade Burst. Especially for Acid Amarasta's Blade Burst, of course, right? And if we get like a nice suffix on this, we're gonna play that probably. Which makes you play a ranged two-handed gun Nightblade. Which is maybe not necessarily what you had in mind when you first chose this class, but if you want to play ABB, the skill, then that's like kind of the best weapon. But as you can see, you could also just like keep on playing cold and melee. That also works somewhat fine for now. I want to play ranged Promise Strike as Rocket Jocks and 3-piece Cyclone the way to go. 3-piece Cyclone is interesting. If you're playing like cooldown Promise Strike, I think 3-piece Cyclone has potential. Otherwise you could just play like 4-piece Ultos and either Rocket Jocks or like a double rare like Spark Thrower. I think Spark Thrower is probably better if you want to like spam Promise Strike, and Rocket Jocks is more made for like cooldown based Promise Strike. I think Rocket Jocks is also better on like Elementalist and Vindicator actually. Whereas Druid rather wants to go for, well, either Spark Throwers or there's like another legendary, right? The Vortex gun, what's it called again? Like Vortex of Souls. It's like an Aether damage gun, but I don't know if you still can do it. Wait, can you still use Vortex for lightning damage? You can, right? Or did they remove that? Maybe they removed that. Like Vortex got like some very weird changes in the past, so maybe like Vortex is only a Aether and Vitality Promise Strike gun now, not a lightning anymore. But it did also like buff the Spark Thrower gun like quite a bit, right? Like, doesn't it have like pass through now? Just like continuing to use Spark Throw on the Druid might be the play as well. Elite can be skipped, yeah. As long as you have like good enough resistances and you've more or less like full cleared normal. You've gotten like all the reputations unlocked, like all the factions unlocked. You can skip Elite, yeah. Okay, yeah, okay, they did change Vortex then, because like a Vortex, they used to be, like it used to not have conversion, and you used to be able to like just convert all of the Aether damage on it to Lightning, and then play like Lightning Vortex of Souls. But yeah, they did remove that option, and instead they made Vortex a, well, like Aether Vitality item. And if you want to play Lightning, you just play Spark Thrower all the way, or Rocket Jocks. But Rocket Jocks is more like about... I think Rocket Jocks is more like Electrocute and cooldown based Promise Strike focused. And it's also better on Vindicator or Elementalist. Whereas Spark Thrower is... well, it's also good for Vindicator, the Spark Thrower, but I think it's like the best weapon for Druid right now. Alright, we are back at a Spirit Guide.
What troubles you?
So I can remove the access points that we had over there, and like we don't need more than 10 points here really either.
Safe journey.
And we can put these points into what now? I think I need like a little bit of movement speed actually, maybe not. I mean I can like still put points here and here, I guess, for like offensive and defensive ability, as well as maybe like another point down here for armor. Or also like could put more points on Shadow Strike for like more single target damage. That's also fine. Since ABB is well, more think I'm gonna go Behemoth right now. It's actually like really solid, I think, on honestly like any class, at least for leveling early game now. Like early to mid game. Not every build wants to use Behemoth later, and I would say very few Nightblades actually want to play Behemoth later. But it fits like so many devotion pages very nicely, so like while leveling it's always kind of nice to have, I think. Will it stay pure Nightblade? It's gonna stay pure Nightblade for now, just like the other builds, yeah. It might transition to something later, but for now it's gonna be pure Nightblade. I mean, this is not really like worth using anyway, right? It is the weapon that I wanna use, but it just has like very bad affixes, so not gonna happen. Chariot, yeah, Chariot is... Oops, don't sell your crystal. Chariot is really nice too, indeed. If you keep on playing like cold, right, you should work on Rowan's Crown next. Definitely, if you wanna like play acid, you should like get Manticore instead. Manticore instead of the Blizzard. And well, for ABB I would usually probably recommend going acid rather. How do you share builds? So there's this website called grimtools.com, right? Where you can upload your character and then create a link, and then you can post the link in, for example, Discord, or on Twitch you can also send links. On YouTube you can't, because of, I don't know, YouTube like being strict or something, I don't know. Maybe I have to like somehow allow links on YouTube, but I don't know, it's, YouTube is a bit stricter with stuff in general, I feel like. I'm gonna prep all classes for Berserker. Maybe. I'm gonna prep like one way or another, and that's for sure. I mean, I either gonna use these like single class builds, or maybe just like level fresh ones on release, who knows. Or just like use my playtest builds from like playtesting, which already are Berserker plus whatever. I mentioned Ultos' 10% is fine as a 4-piece and keep Spark Thrower. Yeah, that's an option too, yeah, for sure. Especially if you wanna like keep on spamming Promise Strike, right? If you wanna play with the Transmuter, then I think 4-piece Ultos and Spark Thrower is probably better than Cyclone set. You left? Are you back now? You're welcome, Shani. Death Knight and Behemoth aren't friends. Yeah. I mean, Behemoth is better on classes that can work around regen nicer. And Death Knight is not really like a great regen class, is it? Nightblade can actually be like good, like a decent regen class in specific combinations. Like for example, Saboteur can have pretty good regen, or Trickster as well. But yeah, many others don't. Like this skill right here has some regen. I mean, it's never as insane as like Shaman or Soldier or Demolitionist, I guess. But It can have like decent values, but most of the time you just play Leech and Nightblades, right? Leech and you play around your active heal maybe. Yeah, I'm glad like most of the, well, rather dated guides at this point are still useful. Like some of my guides are pretty old, but I'd say most of the information there is still somewhat up to date. But for Franks of Us currently, I do want to work on updating all of them. Singing Nightblade Mastery, what do you suggest for finishing all of the game as R30 included? I mean, the best probably will have to be like some kind of Shadow Strike, ABB kiting character, right? Like hit and run kind of type, I think. Because that kind of like allows you to have like the best mix of damage and safety. And you still do play dual wield, right? To be able to get the stats from the dual blades passive, and you are still gonna like invest a couple of points into like execution. Just for like, well, you're gonna use like Baronov's Fury probably as a default attack replacer, right? The component. If you want to be like even safer, and even safer would be stuff like Blade Spirits, Caster, or Phantasmal Blades, like not even, I think. The problem with like Blade Spirits is it's only like really good for bleed, I think. But Nightblade as a standalone with no bleeding resistance reduction whatsoever is kind of bad for bleed. Like you need Shaman or Occultist as a secondary. So yeah, for damage I would say definitely like some dual wield Shadow Strike execution kind of builds. Even more so when Fangs of Astakon drops, because the Shot of Baranov currently on playtesting also gives you like a couple onslaught stacks actually. Which is pretty insane when you think about it. Like Shot of Baranov, Shadow Strike. Don't even need actual onslaught. Just play Shot of Baranov for onslaught stacks. Don't even need to be a Berserker, like just play a Reaper or something, right? Yo, Xanthos, welcome. Ultos, Tempest, Spear of the Heavens, Korvac, which one or two would you pick for a Promise Strike Druid? Actually, I would probably not pick Korvac or Spear anymore for Promise Strike Druid, which I might have done in the past, but Hydra is like way better now. Kraken is a must, right? So you have to like play Kraken, Hydra. Like you have to play Kraken, Hydra. Tempest is better now as well, so you maybe want to play Tempest. You have to play Arcane Bomb, it's mandatory. And then I guess you play something like Ultos. And for like damage defense hybrid, you could play like Crab or Hyrian maybe. Yeah, Hydra, Kraken, Widow for sure, and then I think you go for Ultos. Because like the easiest to fit in there. And otherwise you try to like get some more tier 2s like Tempest, Hyrian, or Crab. Where's Crab? Here, or maybe even like Giant, like Behemoth. For more defense. I think Ghoul is very good still though, actually. Like Ghoul used to be like a bit unpopular in between, but I think for like attack build it's still really good. And Turtle used to be like really good a couple patches ago, like almost mandatory. It's definitely worse than that again. But can be like a good safety net still. I would probably try to not run Turtle. Like try to make it tanky without Turtle. Because I don't think like Prime Strike Druid is like one of the builds where Turtle is like the best. And I think unless Turtle is like really good for the build, I would probably not run it anymore. Am I manually adjusting the camera all the time? Yeah. I use keybind. Camera rotate, right? This one enables camera rotation. This is, I think, the default actually. The default option is middle mouse. So like if you press down your mouse wheel, it enables camera rotation, and then if you move your mouse to the left or to the right, you're rotating the entire camera, which you can do very fast, like that. Compared to using the buttons. There's also like a button for like rotate left, rotate right, but those are like way slower. So I don't like using them. What about Rowan's Crown? Still good. Oh yeah, true. If you, yeah, I mean you need that too. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you need Rowan's Crown too. Unless you have like another source of that same type of debuff, then you don't need it. But I think Prime Strike Druid does not have a source like that by default, so you will need Rowan's Crown too. Yeah, like it's basically Rowan's Crown is mandatory unless you have another way of getting like what I call like flat resistance reduction, right? It's like X number, like X reduced targets elemental resistances, or like X reduced targets resistances in general, like this kind of stuff. Unless you have like another skill or like an item that gives you that stat, then you will always need Rowan's Crown and elemental build. And you can probably like put rotation to also work on like, I don't know, like scrolling up or down the mouse wheel if you want to do that like that. Grim Dawn should be very customizable with the keybinds after all. Trying to learn Grim Dawn, started with a Warlord, pretty fun right now. I plan on playing Grim Dawn until Titan Quest 2 comes out. That's good to hear. And then of course you're gonna come back to Grim Dawn once the expansion hits, right? Hopefully. Anyway, Warlord is a good starter. It's a very tanky and safe class. Should be kind of easy to learn the game with that class, I think. Does Titan Quest 2 have a release date? It, I think, doesn't even have a release date for early access yet, no. Didn't they say something about like at the end of winter we're gonna get early access? So that would mean like the end of February, but I don't know. We shall see. I don't think there was like any announcement yet. Do you play Roans even if you have Wind Devil? Yes, Wind Devil is not the same type of debuff. Wind Devil is, if you look at it closely, right, it says like minus number %. And that type of debuff, just like Night's Chill for example as well, this will always stack, like with all other sources as well. Which is why you also play Arcane Bomb on top always, because Arcane Bomb also has the same like debuff type. Like this debuff type stacks, like you can use multiple layers of the same. But the one from Rowan's Crown, for example, doesn't stack. And then there's a third one, that's the one from Viper or from Ultos. These also don't stack. Yeah, you play Arcane Bomb and Rounds. Yeah. Okay, so anything that says reduced always has the rule that only the highest applies. And anything that says minus stacks. Right, if something says reduced somewhere in there, then it's like not stacking. The same goes for like OA and DA shreds as well. Like OA, DA debuffs and so on. Like there's skills that say, I don't know. This one is minus OA, right? It doesn't say reduce, it's minus OA, so this will stack with other minus OA debuffs. But if it says like reduced OA, then it doesn't stack with other like reduced OA debuffs. Yeah, the same for resistance reduction. Is there an example for that, I think? What's an example for that? Like, for example, Blindside has like reduced DA, so like this would not stack with like another type of reduced defensive ability. Viper and Ultos don't stack, that's correct, yeah. No point taking Ultos if you're going for Ultos. No point taking Viper if you're going for Ultos. You might still wanna take it for like affinity, actually, and offensive ability. Like Viper can still be fine to take, even without the like resistance shred stacking. Because it's just like a tier 1 devotion. And for tier 1 devotions, you don't need to like always use all the stats. You might just care about affinity as well. Viper requires weapon damage, Ultos does not.
Ah, I've been
Because
expecting
Ultos
you.
has the debuff on the skill, which just like gets applied by the skill. Viper has like the debuff added to your weapon damage, so you need a skill with weapon damage to apply it, which Prime Strike would be. You go too, thanks for the Prime. Welcome and welcome on. Appreciate the support. Welcome to the Bloomers. Hello, hello. Is there any place to find recent still viable builds? I would say that like almost all of my builds on YouTube are still at least viable. Some of them could be like optimized a little bit like here and there. Like Grim Dawn doesn't like ever really nerf builds into the ground. I mean, sure, there are nerfs and buffs happening, but something getting like nerfed into the ground like almost never happens. Otherwise, there's also a like top 20 softcore builds thread on the forums, or just like a generic like build compendium as well on the forums, which has like a pretty decent like summary of builds, I guess. Will there ever be a Grim Dawn 2? I think Grim Dawn 2 will come out next decade. So yes, I do believe there is gonna be a Grim Dawn 2, but it's not gonna be anytime soon. Yeah, generally I would say the best place to look for builds is the Grim Dawn forums. The Grim Dawn forums are maybe not always the best to search through, and also like sometimes a bit toxic, I guess, but I mean, every game community is like a bit toxic here and there, right? Otherwise, you could also look for builds on Grim Tools, right? Grim Tools also has like a build search function. And yeah, like most of my builds on YouTube, I would say, are also fine. I do sometimes tend to, I don't know, like prioritize just playing a certain idea over like playing whatever's like the best. Like I've made many builds that are certainly not like top 1 builds, or like top 10 builds, but they're just like fun and wonky to try to make work after all. Your build takes 2 seconds longer to clear the crucible now. It's definitely unviable now. Yep. Trash build, delete it right now. Instantly, yeah. True. Delete it instantly. Mars colonization and discovery via space portals will be reached before Grim Dawn 2 is released. I mean, I'm actually not sure about that. Mars is gonna take quite a while. Like Mars shouldn't be that easy.
A blessed welcome.
But who knows? There's a good chance what you're saying might happen. Grim Dawn 2 apparently isn't easy to make either. I've made good builds and ate the Reaping Arc. Yeah. Did they buff Ilgor? I mean, not last patch, at some point. When they did the Thunder patch, she got buffed quite a bit. They are developing Grim Dawn 2. They are like working on the engine on which eventually at some point Grim Dawn 2 is gonna be working on. Like a run-on. Run-on? Run-on?
I don't know.
Like they're still in the we're making the engine phase. So, yeah. I should probably actually go back right here and then like hand on the quest while I go to the portal. I have returned indeed, alright. Let's do that. Okay, so we've made sure to pretty much do all the side quests here in advance. That's like kind of cool. Like, if you don't know where to go, obviously you have to like explore everything first and like get all the quests later and then like go somewhere again. But once you know, you know, and then you can do almost all quests, almost, like in advance. I didn't get a good like bile thrower, did I? So I guess we're running this for a bit longer. Also my rests are kinda yikes, not gonna lie. These are not good rests right now. What the hell is going on? Like this is not this is not mammoth viable, is it? Right now. Okay, what do I need for runestone? Can I make a runestone? You can get the runestone component from these guys over here. Eel or lizard for a caster. That depends a lot on the build. Doesn't really have to do anything with like caster or non-caster, to be honest. I mean eel is 5 blue for 3 points, lizard is 4 blue for 3 points, so in many cases there is not even an option. You have to pick eel because otherwise you can't like fulfill your requirements. Okay, runestone, right? Runestone is a pretty good item that you can put on your helmet. But this needs like 3 ward stones first of all, so let's make like 2 more ward stones to make the runestone. Then we want to put the runestone in the helmet. We don't really have the best helmet right now. It's a very low level helmet, but this should help. Well, I mean, why are we doing this, right? This thing gives me 12 poison rest, 12 elemental rest, and 12 aether rest. Should help like a little bit here at least. And I could also like use an imbued silver in my weapon instead of the cold stone. I mean, cold stone is obviously lots of damage, but if you're dead, you deal no damage, right? So let's use an imbued silver here to cap the chaos rest and the bleed rest, or like, well, get a bit more bleed rest at least. Gotta still somehow get like more aether rest at some point, but oh well. Is Soulland's one of the worst twin guns? It's a really weird gun. Isn't that like a caster gun? Like a two-handed caster gun? I don't know, it's really weird. Do you think ranged ABB is any good? I think so, yeah. Like Ugdenborg Bile Launcher is... Well, if I found a good one with like good FXs, I would be playing that one right now actually. I think Ugdenborg Bile Launcher is arguably the best weapon for ABB right now. And then for that, as a secondary class, you would be choosing ideally Witch Hunter, yeah. Like Occultist secondary, right? 100%. Is Kriegstep still good for endgame? I mean, it's okay. It's never been bad. I don't think it's like crazy good though. It's alright. I mean, it's supposed to be like an easy to farm set, which, well, it's supposed to be powerful according to how easy it is to farm, so it's not crazy powerful, I would say. It's okay though. I wish they would like do 1 or 2 changes that make like Warcry redundant on Aether versions of Death Knight at least. And put like more emphasis on the stomp. I think if they just like made the skill better, it would be a pretty decent set. Like an actual good set. I think right now it's I mean the best use of Krieg set is like gloves and boots as a 2-piece and like Aether builds in general. But the full set, I mean it's okay, but there are better builds for sure. Alright, maybe for level 45 I should put out like a new Grim Tools here. Like a new link. Since we've made it all the way to Void's Edge. The problem with looking for a build is everything looks the same. Person walks into melee range attacks, some effects happen which look like other builds, that's it. I mean, you can also play a ranged build with like pistols or a caster build. You don't have to be you don't have to be melee with all builds. But you are right that many builds feel a bit like that. You can also play pet builds where like, well, you're never gonna have to face enemies ever because your pets just kill the enemies for you.
Is that your mother? As you command. My emperor.
Alright, let's try how well this works right here with ABB against Agrum. I doubt it's gonna be as good as like Greek Civil Eye was the other day. But I still a Nightblade, right? Even without like full dual wield melee or like Shadow Strike focus, this is still respectable single target damage. And still better than Penalty actually, yeah, for sure. I mean, this is totally fine. Yeah. Nightblade is just an insane class for damage. Kind of no matter what you do. Is there anything in this game like PoE attribute stackers where you scale offensive defensive on a single stat? I mean, there are like cunning and spirit stackers, especially cunning stackers, but it's not like... I don't think it's as crazy as on PoE 1 or 2, but... Are there good pistol builds? I mean, there are some good pistol builds, yeah, for sure. You can do Rata stackers. I mean, that's not really like an attribute, but... Especially like Pierce, Cunning attribute stackers, Pierce damage attribute stackers. But Cunning used to be kind of crazy. That archetype got kind of nerfed though. I mean, it's still good to stack Cunning on Pierce builds for sure, but it's not quite as crazy as it used to be. Rata is retaliation damage added to attack, so it's kind of like thorns, but actually viable, right? So like it adds a part of all of your total thorns damage to a skill. So it's kind of like you actually use thorns as part of your damage on your skills. So not only passively. That's what Rata is. Or like retaliation damage added to attack. It doesn't make you tankier, no. But compared to, say, PoE, I mean, okay, compared to any other ARPG, I think Grim Dawn is the most melee-friendly out of all of them, so, that I know at least, so. You can, if you build things right, you can play melee for literally all content easily. Grim Dawn hates guns? What do you mean? PoE doesn't even have guns. I mean, PoE has bows, I guess. There's totally fine gun builds as well, I don't know. Like, I don't know, like many are totally fine. I mean, take Harbinger for example, that's arguably one of the highest damage builds in the game. It's a 200 gun build. I mean, it's like a caster gun hybrid, I guess. But then the top 20, I mean... The top 20 is like a... They have like selection bias, of course, as well. I mean, melee Nightblades are the king of speed in general. Especially for softcore. That's kinda true, yeah. It's gonna change a bit more though in the expansion, I think. I mean, Nightblades are getting stronger too though in the expansion. I don't know, everything is getting stronger in Astakarn, it feels like. It's kinda hard to judge at this point, to be fair. Like, there's so many variables being changed with Astakarn. It's kind of crazy. All right. I really need more Aether resistance. 44% is not good for this act. Like, that's garbage. You want like 60... Like, Aether S... I think you're fine with like 40 to 50% Aether S up until this act. Or maybe even with less. But once you are in Malmouth, you kind of want to get as close to 80% as possible, as soon as possible. So, yeah. I'm trying to look out for items with Aether S for sure. I mean, compared to PoE, yeah, Grim Dawn's more about melee. Which I think is better, because melee has, even in Grim Dawn, a higher risk. But at least in Grim Dawn it's getting rewarded better, right? Like, as meta, you're obviously getting hit by more stuff, or like, you need to know what to dodge and what you can hit by and so on. Like, melee requires more game knowledge, I would say, for sure. But you are getting rewarded at least as well with like proper like kill speed if you know how to play the game. The pair of solas. Oh yeah, maybe I should like upgrade my boots. Yeah, I mean pants. That's a good point. Solar would be the best option. It's like guaranteed Aetherus and maybe like some more on top from an affix. That's a good point. A very good point. Shadow strikes and blitzes. I mean, that gap was actually getting closed a bit with like higher base movement speed in the, like higher possible movement speed in the expansion on range builds. Yeah, let's take a small detour here to unlock Hidden Path part 1 and 2 at least. To get like a nice pair of Solar pants, hopefully. And I could also like use Elect Plates of Valor, like these are really good too, but the problem is I don't need like Pierce Res. I mean, I would need the Bleed Res, but bleeding resistance is honestly not as important. Because you can always react. What you can do is you can sell all of your items and then like just write Aether Resistance in your buyback window. Because, well, the shops have a search bar, your inventory does not. Like, if I use these, right, I would like lose so many other resistances, right? It's kinda not doable. Like, same for this one. I don't know. Did they buff bleeding damage from enemies recently? I don't think so, no. Do you have to place the Shaman's Wendigo Totem on top of an enemy to proc a devotion? Yes. The Shaman's Wendigo Totem has like 2 skills, right? It has like 1 skill. Actually, it has like 3 if you have Blood Pact on top, right? So Blood Pact buffs you as long as you stand next to the totem. So the only condition is you standing next to the totem. Then it has a damaging skill, dealing damage to the enemy depending on like whatever damage it says it does, which requires the enemy to stand next to it. And then the third skill is the healing skill, which requires you and an enemy to stand next to it. Right, like it's the Wendigo Totem only heals you if you and an enemy stand inside of it, or like next to it. And the part that procs the devotion is only the part that deals damage. So you need the enemy to get hit by the like damaging aura from the totem to like proc the devotion, yeah. Another 35% is normal. I mean, you can get like 150, 160% easily on range builds soon. Like easily those numbers, and then like even more with like certain items. And those skills do require a target too, right? Like it's not like you... I mean, ideally there's always a target though. Fabius Omega one-shots you. Yeah, Fabius has an aura that reduces your pierce resistance. So if you don't have like 30% overcap on pierce, you will just die. Something like that. Okay, so this Guardian over here, right, the Guardian of Solar, drops these pants, and because we are a streamer and we have streamer luck, we're getting off Winter Storm suffix, which gives us like +2 to Night's Chill on top. These pants always have Aether Res, Bleed Res, and Leech. Mighty gives us Physique. Of the Winter Storm gives us cold damage, offensive ability, I believe elemental resistances, freeze duration, like freeze resistance basically, and the +2 to Night's Chill. So I guess we couldn't have been more lucky with these, but I'll take them. Right, I'll just take them. We lose some armor, which is fine. Yeah. There's also like higher level versions of these pair pants that you can farm later on. Once you are high level, right? Like the enemies in this game level with you, and drops depend on enemy level. So if you want to get higher level items, you have to level yourself so that the enemies level with you, and then you kill the high level enemies that are high level because you are high level. And then, well, you get better items, right? Which also like sometimes confuses, I think, like some RPG players from other games, if they come to Grim Dawn and they think like, oh, I can just like overlevel this guy, right? If they're stuck at some boss, just overlevel him. Well, if you overlevel but don't put your skill points into the right skills, and or you don't get gear upgrades, then you will actually be weaker compared to the enemy on higher level. If you're actually like making the run, like your chances worse than before. Yeah, I kind of want these like for endgame now as well, if I was like using this character, right? Like Mighty of, what is it, Winter Storm at level 94. Would be pretty good for this build, for sure. Playing range Blade Burst, yeah. That makes more sense usually. With the Bio Thrower, right? That definitely makes more sense. I didn't get a good Bio Thrower yet, and I mean, obviously I'm aware that you can go to the Ancient Grove to just like buy one from the shop there, but I kind of didn't bother doing that yet. And to be fair, this Alchemist Scythe with Shadow Strike is doing a pretty good job so far as well. Right, as meta you do have the additional mobility with Shadow Strike, which is nice, is nice. Right. This guy over here also has like 2 monster frequency he can drop, like 2 different chests. I think neither of which are interesting for this build, but they exist. They can be good for like other builds. I think like one of them is like really good for like Fire Strike builds, for example, or like one is good for, I think, like Aether melee builds as well. Where do I put my points? Like one here, right? Maybe like one down here. Let's go. Oh, you're playing the Cold War pistols, the Hagaradian Enforcers. Yeah, that's like a good build too, like a good endgame build for Inquisitors, right? Like for like infiltrators. That's very juicy. You can't really like do that while leveling though, right? That build is unfortunately tied to the guns. Right, can't play that build without the guns.
I'll give you a good price on what I've got left. See you around. I'll give you a good price on what I've got left.
But it's a good endgame build for sure, yeah. Oh, I want to make a Lucius Arm Whalekeeper build, but I feel like I would have too little Aether resistance reduction for it to be good. For Arcanist and Shaman. Yeah, Aether resistance reduction can definitely be a problem for that class combination, for sure. For a Druid. I think... They did change like Veilkeeper set a little bit recently, didn't they? I'm not sure if it made like Aether Druid better or not. I know you can play Lightning like Veilkeeper Druid actually pretty well. And I know you can probably play Aether Ritualist too. Or like Aether Spellbinder. But Aether Druid does have the resistance reduction problem indeed. I don't know, I didn't look at it recently all too much. I know they changed like some stuff, they made it like better somehow. I don't remember how exactly, but... I think they made it like easier for you to play around the Aether Savagery conduit. Which, I don't know, I think it's better on Ritualist though. If you want to play like around upheaval, you want like big OA. And for that, like Arcanus is kind of better than Necromancer though. Second class? Yeah, maybe later. Not yet. Not right now. Did I get all 3 wagons? Or did I only have... Ah, shit. Probably only got 2, I don't know. Actually, no, I think wagon number 1 was here, right? Hopefully. If you don't pick up the quest, it can be a little bit iffy here. You might miss some wagon. I wanna go Aether Upheaval.
The Ethereals do more than just slaughter us. That much is apparent. They've been...
Right, I did forget one wagon. The northern wagon. Should be like, I guess, around here, as usual. Shadow Strike is really nice for Candle's District, because Grindon Engine and, like, Grindon Pathfinding rather really handles stairs rather poorly. And Shadow Strike can kinda just do the pathing for you, right? You just Shadow Strike instead of having to worry about any pathing. Okay, there it is. You're doing some generic cold pistols? Wait, that actually works? I mean, I guess it somehow works, but...
Come see what's left of my wares.
Whenever you get the pistols, it's gonna feel like a big upgrade, I can tell you that. Like, I didn't even think it would be, like, possible to play the build without the pistols, to be honest. Like, as in, like, 200 melee, or I guess, but, like, with dual pistols. Like, what guns do you even run? I don't think there's, like, any good, like, cool guns even in the game, apart from exactly those that you need.
Good, you're back.
Yo, Walken, welcome back, welcome back. How you doing, man? 25 months already. Appreciate it.
There you are. Well discussed.
Alright, Carinia has been doing this and that. Can you already, like, pick up this one? I think we can already, right? Yeah. More often than not, I pick up this quest way later, but you can actually pick it up right away here. Oh shit, I do have to go though, actually, very soon. Yeah, I guess I have to do like Korvac and like preparations for Ultimate and Theoden like next stream actually, guys. We're gonna like at least run through Steel Cap real quick. Took me a while to realize the soundtrack, the Wings of Liberty one. Yeah. Dude, StarCraft 2 was such a good game, like when it first came out at least. It kind of went like a little bit to shit after that, but I think like up to Heart of the Swarm it was a really good game. Like the first 2 expansions were, like the first iteration of the game and like the first expansion were like really good. After that, it's still okay, but... By the way, did you know that Xantai, the basically like main designer, right, for Grim Dawn, and whatever that the official like name is for that, like chief designer, whatever. Big Z, right? Big Z. He was a StarCraft 2 modder, right, before he actually started working for like one other company and then for Crate. Right, that's interesting. Just some like, you know, great developer trivia. Would recommend a Spellbreaker or Water. If you wanna play a like rather hard to class but very fun to master, and arguably maybe even like the most fun class in the game once you fully mastered it, kind of class, then I would suggest you a Spellbreaker. Right, Spellbreaker is definitely not easy to play, but very fun to master and very, very powerful if you play it right and if you have like the right gear for it. But Water is way more chill. You can be like just tanky and out regen everything if you build it around that as well. Yeah, you can just like AFK almost and play like 1 or 2 buttons. Kinda like depends what you want to do, right? It's like very, very different playstyles. Both are mostly primarily melee. I mean, you can play Spellbreaker as a like throws and caster too, I guess. But it's mostly like melee too, I would say. I mean, I guess you could even... I think with like the next patch, or like with Fangs of Astracon at the very least, you could probably also play like Cold Phantasmal Blades Spellbreaker pretty decently now. There are gonna be some changes that will make that like a lot better. Currently I think there's like the best shadows, like the best build for Breaker is definitely like Cold Shadow Strike. And you can also do like Cold Throws and Sky Shard, especially for leveling. If you don't feel like playing melee, that's fine too. I think for endgame, a class like Druid is just probably arguably a bit better though. And yeah, Spellbreaker for Phantasmal Blades also exists, I guess, but that's gonna be a lot better like in the next couple of patches than right now. Dude, Fangs is gonna have so much more. It's gonna be crazy. But yeah, it also takes a bit longer than expected. But oh well. As long as the product is good in the end, that's fine. And as long as we don't die before playing it, that's also fine, right? Destroy the gates. Okay, so this is where we are now. And let me just finish the other side quests on the road here. And if you're playing softcore, I would not advise you to play a Water. Unless you really want to just play like 1-button builds. Or like you want to watch like Netflix on the second screen while playing the game, stuff like that. I think especially for softcore, a Breaker is always going to be more fun than a Water. BU, play softcore, have 2 Waters. I mean, I guess you can also have fun with Waters and softcore. I mean, kind of like depends what you want to play, right?
Good work.
I guess Prime Strike Water is at least flashy, yeah.
Captain Wilford, I'm...
See anything you like?
Alright, we're gonna continue here next time, guys. And then after that, maybe play a new build, because I'll Probably bench this guy at the end of
Good, you're
normal
back.
once again. And say ABB is fine to play if you play it like this, or if you play the buy launcher. I'd probably like farm or buy launcher as well. And like see how ranged feels around this level as well.
I'm planning on.
Yo, Nefs, thanks for the 19 months. Welcome back, welcome back. I appreciate the support. You like water because it's the closest thing to barbarian until berserker. Makes sense, yeah. It's like big two-hander kind of stuff. Berserker is gonna feel like barbarian in some ways, but also gonna feel very, very different actually in many other ways. Like Berserker, just like all Grim Dawn classes, is gonna be a very versatile class and be played in many different ways. One of the more diverse classes, I would have to say. Maybe even like the most diverse actually when it comes to playstyles. We'll see, we'll see. Will Berserker work with a gun? Absolutely. It will. I mean, it's maybe not gonna be like the main focus of the class, but it will work, yeah. Anyway guys, thanks for watching.